let's do a painting review. What's up friends, Liron here. Thank you for joining me in another video. Today I wanted to do something a little different, or also share with you something funny. So when I'm creating and when I'm painting, I'm always geared towards documenting and sharing it. And so I always have this thing where I'm working on a painting that I really want to put a lot of effort in. I actually, like literally in my brain, I'm thinking, should I record it? Should I record the process? If it turns out really well, I want to show the entire process for people. And sometimes I think to myself, well, if I document it, it'll hurt my ability to concentrate 100%. So I just finished working on a painting. Let me show you this one here, still life, which I never do. You know what? Let's just I'm gonna show it on the screen again here. And so I'm usually not doing still life, and today I just thought it would be cool, and I used the Daniel Smith secondary set, which I also did a review of, this one here, and it really surprised me like how I think the colors turned out really well and really realistic. So I wanted to, because I didn't record unfortunately the creation process, I want us to at least review it and see why it works in my opinion. Alright, so I'm gonna try this thing where I go zoomed in on one painting, sort of show you what I think turned out well, what I could do better just for one specific painting, because I think there's a lot of value specifically in this one. Okay, so let's get to it, change the angle, and let's look at it. So friends, here's the painting straight out of the oven. I still haven't removed the tape here. And I'm just really pleased with it. And so I just want to put the reference photo for a moment here on screen somewhere so you can see it. And maybe I'll leave it somewhere in the corner. And so I think what really works well here is I actually messed up in quite a lot of spots on the pier here because I was planning on leaving a reflected light on the right side, so in the shadow you have some lighter areas that are still fairly dark. I did fail with this one, but still there is a good feeling of light and shadow here. Actually, what makes this work, let's just cut straight to the chase. So the first thing is the colors, and the second one is the values. So the colors, and I do have some screw ups here, but it's nothing serious. So the colors are fairly realistic. And this is something, for now, honestly, it's just a matter of luck for me. Because the realistic colors is something I either nail or not. And in this one I used these ones. It's funny because there's also this one here on the side, and I didn't even remember, but I'm using the green here anyway. So I used mainly these two, a bit of the Undersea, and some... what was it? I think it was French Ultramarine, actually, for the shadows here. And notice how, so the colors are somehow magically turned fairly realistic. And for the values, also another important thing, as I mentioned. So they turned out really well as well. So you can see here that the levels of darkness, this area is considerably darker than this area, so you get a feeling of a strong shadow. All the small grapes here under the top ones are fairly darker. There's a good variety on the shadows as well, so if you pay close attention, you'll notice how this shadow is warm and this shadow is cool. I used much more French Ultramarine for this one, and perhaps more of a mix of the Carbazole Violet and this one, the Carbazole Violet, and the Quinacridone Burnt Orange for this shadow. So this is something really important. The drawing itself was fairly accurate. I really took my time just to build it up correctly. In the back here we have a curtain. I'm really not sure what that is. I think it's a curtain and it's just a few lines. On second thought, what I could have done is have this area sort of wet in wet, because it was a bit blurry because it was at the back. By the way, look at this fruits of the labor. It's a bit of sap green, I think, just on my hand. Another good thing I did here was with this entire darker area. So you can see here a purple or a violet stain. Let me zoom in for a moment. Just want to make sure you can see this. There's a purple stain, and the reason why is that I tried letting the paints mix on the paper. So you can see a shade of violet here, a bit of the burnt orange here. There is actually an orange stain here. I don't know if it comes up well in the camera, but I can see it right here, and there's like a stripe of orange here. So let me zoom back out again. So honestly, I think I got a little lucky with this one because I don't usually nail everything the way I want. Some people may look at it and say, well, it's like an average painting for me. And some people will look at it and say, wow, it's amazing. So it's really, a lot of it is subjective, but I think for me, and I'm super critical of my work, I'm really, really pleased with it. So let me just take off the tape here for you live, because that's the really cool part where this actually turns into a final painting. As you can see here, get the last one. This is a really small piece of paper, by the way. You can see this is my hand, so it's like tiny. So yeah, this is it. I hope this was helpful in some way, and let's zoom out and wrap up the video. Doing some handheld action for you, because I forgot to mention another thing that I think works really well and I could even improve is the composition. So first, we have a contrast between something that's standing, like the pear, and the grapes are sort of laying back to the side. And also notice how the pear cuts through the line of the table, I think, and so it just goes above it. I could even make it a bit taller or sort of lower the angle, but this is what I chose to do, and I think this really plays out well. In terms of the plate, it's in the center of the painting because it's the center of, like, that's how it's built. This is okay. If there were more elements, we could move it to the right or to the left, but I think it's working really well. So there's the composition, there's the colors, and the value. Just wanted to quickly point that out as well, because I think it's important to make note of that. Friends, just because I forgot, I did publish some of the steps of this painting, and I'm going to put them right here somewhere, because I published on Instagram and Snapchat. So if you're not following me there, make sure you do, and also here on YouTube. I think this video is a really good indication of what I want this channel to be all about. I wanted to document my journey in improving with this crazy medium of watercolor, and just as an artist in general. And sometimes I get these glimpses where I'm able to create something that's sort of above my league, at least to my own subjective feeling about it. So I'm really able to tell the improvement that I'm going through. Okay, so this is it. Thanks again for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got something practical even out of it. And I'll see you again in another video. Take care.